cloud weather outside in Bangalore, getting this many people into this wonderful hall. I would like to congratulate Brain Analytics as well as all the people who are sitting in this hall. That shows the kind of interest what you have on your area of leadership. So I would like to take some of the points from Piyush as well as Kulkarni, what they brought wonderful points. So today, when I talk about India, a land of economic opportunities, I want to give more on the story of India, what exactly happened in the last 100 years, than going to just 10 years, and talking about what is going to be our future in the next 25-30 years. So that is what I'm going to talk in the next maybe 15 or 20 minutes. So first of all, today when we talk about India, we are at the right time because the Sensex is the all-time high. Most of you people might have witnessing. So even now it is going up. So one of the stock, that is Reliance, touched all-time high of 20 lakh crores. That is the market capitalization which they built. And today when we talk about the economy, we are the 5th largest economy, and the gap between 4th, 3rd is very narrow. I think anytime we may reach to the 3rd largest economy in this world, definitely. And I'm sure the reasons are plenty. One is, unlike any country in this world, we have the largest population, that is a 1.42 billion, and we overtaken even China. And today, the other good thing is, unlike any country in this world, is the greatest advantage India got is we call as demographic dividend. So the demographic dividend is nothing but out of this 1.42 billion population of India, we have closely 58% of our population are below 35 age. So that is the advantage no other country got, unlike India got. And this demographic dividend is going to give a great future in coming years to India. So now, going back to last 100 years story, so today we are in 2024, so if I go back to 1924, just imagine what kind of infrastructure what we have, and what kind of economy we had, and what kind of a GDP we had. So it is like nothing, because we were under the rule of somebody. And today when we look at the GDP, we are the highest GDP in the world today, the growing GDP. We are growing at 8%. That is what yesterday news in Economic Times, the RBI governor says. We are going to touch the 8% GDP, unlike any country in this world, including the largest economy in the world, US. And at the same time today, I think some of you people might have read in Times of India, today the highest spoken language in United States of America, which is the largest economy with a $22 trillion, is the 11th highest number of people speak language of Telugu. And today, the US technology market is dominated by none other than Indians, who are living there, who migrated there, who studied there. And today, when you talk about, again, the highest number of student population in the United States of America universities, that is the highest is Indians. So what more you need? Yes, what Piyush was telling, if we can bring back these young minds to India, so you will see the great story of India, and that is going to happen in coming years. Because the way we are growing, the way each sector is growing, the kind of opportunities we are having. So when you look at last, maybe from 1947 to till now, what the great thing is, whatever government, whether it is in a state or central, the growth is not stopped. Whichever government it is. Because every government need a growth. Every government want to compete with other states. And that's how the India growth story is a phenomenon, unlike any country growth story today. So today when some of the best IT consulting companies, some of the consulting companies like PricewaterhouseCoopers or Goldman Sachs or KPMG or McKinsey, what they say is, if someone want to invest, global investors, the best bet is India, not China, not US. Because they say the highest growth you get in this market than investing in other markets. So that shows the confidence of the global players which are showing on the Indian market. So definitely today, if you talk about the highest respected professionals in United States of America is IT professionals, then Indian doctors, then Indian academicians who are working in some of the top universities of MIT, Stanford, Harvard, Kellogg's, Wharton. So some of the leading positions they were holding. So that shows the strength of India, which India built in the last 20 years through the knowledge system, through the greatest foundation, what we built in our education system. Because today when I talk about education system, because I come from that vertical as well as the technology vertical, today we have a highest number of universities, more than 1,100 universities in India. And we have 54,000 colleges and 3.2 million schools. So which brings to closely 470 million student numbers from primary education to the PhD, unlike any country in the world. So we built a greatest education system of the world in this country in the last 40-50 years. And not only last 40-50 years, some of you people might have seen what is happening in the last couple of years. So we are called a Vishwaguru. We had a universities like Takshashila, we had a universities like Nalanda. So these all not stories. These are the real stories where when there is no transportation, there is no flights, there is no proper roads. People used to come from more than 30-40 countries to Nalanda by walking on the road and crossing the rivers to come to India to study in Nalanda thousands of years back. And again, the same Nalanda is restarted and rebuilt just a couple of weeks back. So that's how the story of India is going to be a greatest story in the coming years. So when we talk about Make in India, we talk about Skill India, we talk about the various initiatives which India shining across the world is going to be a real growth story. Because what we see in India, so not only on the technology side, every sector, because when we talk about the technology side, it is a smaller portion in the entire GDP. So we talk about agriculture, we talk about infrastructure, we talk about various service sectors. We are leading. We are leading. And there is no doubt because when we look at the previous stories of last 70, 80 years, what is greatest thing in India we can see is the connectivity, the road connectivity. And we have today 180 airports in this country. 180 airports. And from one end, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, we can able to reach in 24 hours time. That is how our roads are built. And today we have when we talk and when we compare with other countries, so today when we travel to other countries, the speed what we get in India, the speed what we get in internet, I'm not comparing with maybe in US or some European countries or Germany, all those countries, but some of the developing countries, nearby countries, the neighboring countries, our internet is much faster than them. Our services are much better than them. And today you talk about not only the technology sector, today when we talk about the pharma industry, the healthcare industry, we are the leaders. We produce more than I think 20 billion vaccine doses. And we given the vaccine to the half of the global population of this world. And some of the pharma companies, when you just open the Economic Times, the front page itself, the acquisition of the global companies by Indian companies. Today there is one acquisition of Dr. Reddy Lab acquiring the European company. So that's how every sector we are growing. And today the Indian pharma products are sold in more than 100 countries. So the growth story will continue, and we are able to dominate the market because we have a lot of advantages unlike any country in this world. When I talk about the demographic dividend, this demographic dividend is not there in the largest, the nations. When you talk about largest nations, whether it is the US, whether it is China, whether it is Japan, whether it is Germany, they don't have this advantage of young population. So the demographic dividend, the young population of India is the future of India. So how we train, how we equip them, how we give us skills, how we provide an opportunity to these young people is left to us, left to every company, left to every individual who is sitting here. If we can able to nurture these people and able to provide a great opportunities, and definitely what Mr. Piyush was telling about, the brain drain, going these people to US and settling these people in other countries will stop. Because the education system is one of the lowest cost education system in this country, unlike US. If you take on average any US university, today the fees cost around $20,000 US. And today in India, the lowest education fees today we have. And some of the states, they are reimbursing entire education fees which students are paying. For example, state like Andhra Pradesh, state like Telangana, and some of the states like Bihar and all, the entire education fees is reimbursed. So more than 50% of the population of the students in engineering, in management, in other programs. So these all systems can definitely help India to build as third largest economy in coming years. And I have no doubt, when Piyush was asking, I think few hands raised, I have no doubt with the 1.42 billion population today, that is the greatest advantage. Couple of years back, 20 years back, if someone asked, what is the disadvantage of India? We used to say the population is the disadvantage of India. Today, we are not looking at 1.42 billion people. It is 2.84 billion hands which are working towards making India as a number one country in the coming years. That is what we call as Amrit Kal. I think definitely by 2047, when we celebrate the 100 years of independence, India definitely, whether one or two, but definitely India will shine, and India will become a leader. And definitely IT is the one of the sector which can able to help and which can able to contribute in a large extent than any other sector in India. So thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. I think if you have any questions, I would like to have more that interaction than just talking. I think Mr. Piyush already covered most of the points what I was thinking. So thank you very much for Brain Analytics for bringing me here. So if any questions, I think I would like to take. Yes.
So sir, I've been hiring some interns from colleges, and age would be 18, 19 also, 18, 19, 20. And some of them are so confident now, they come for interview, they talk to us and they say like, you give me any task in development, software development on a Python or a Golang or whatever technology you want to, we are confident of doing anything, and I have tested them. They are exceptionally talented. Our Indian students are now beyond imagination. Unfortunately, what is happening is they don't have opportunity now in India, because if they go and work for any large Indian IT company, they say that the customer is going to decide what to do. So you just go there and work at like $25 per hour and generate that revenue. So in the education system itself, can we bring that? Can we work out something and tell them that you start making product from now itself? Because if they become coding champions, they need some guidance from proper mentors who will tell them that how the software architectures have to be, like what Mr. Kulkarni also asked. So from the education institute itself, if their startup can be born and they can be coached, because they are very poor in finance management, they are very poor in team management, they don't have those leadership skills, and then but they are masters of coding, no one can beat them in coding, but they are poor at architecture. So can a complete ecosystem be created during their education days itself to solve these problems?
I think it is a very valid concern. Today, when we talk about some of the international universities, the COVID vaccine comes from Oxford University, the University of Oxford, with the funding from AstraZeneca. So in India, still we are unable to, do that kind of research in institutions. But some of the top universities and institutions like Indian Institute of Science and IITs and some of the private universities in India started working towards that. Because if you look at some of the universities like Stanford, MIT, so they get a huge funding from industries. The corpus, we call it. Like a chair professor in Harvard University, by Apple, by Google, by Meta, they give in millions. In India, it is not happening. Not even one university or one college able to get that much funding. Even the Indian entrepreneurs who belong to India, who run a companies in India, they would like to sponsor at Oxford, they would like to sponsor in Harvard, not in India. So if that mindset changes, for example, the greatest story is Nandan Nilekani, Chris Gopalakrishna, who donated huge money to the Nimhans Brain Center and IIT Bombay. So this kind of things, if industry can able to bring, then definitely I think you see a new Bharat, new economy, and definitely the student ability also will change. That's how we call the academia industry interactions. But practically it is not happening in a much bigger way what we expect. Because definitely if you want to clap, the two hands should come together. So that is not happening. I think it is a duty of every industry leader to work towards this, and definitely this is going to give a lot of benefit to the industry in coming years. Because when we see the kind of training, the kind of on-job training you spend on the new recruits is a huge. So this is a cost. So if you can able to give a proper requirement, what skills you require for your industry in the next 5 years, we can able to train. Today, the education system is changed than last 10, 20 years back. Today, All India Council of Technical Education, which governs all the institutions today, the University Grant Commission, they are so liberal. I can able to offer the course which is in AI specialization in a week's time. I can start a course in blockchain technology in a week's time. So if you really have some requirement, if you say, I need this kind of a people, so we can give a ready set of students to work from day one at your industry. That reduces your time, your cost, and also it gives opportunity for the students to work where they will not migrate to US, they will not migrate to Germany, they will not migrate to UK for higher studies, because the moment they are in the campus, they get an offer from a good corporate, and the migration will get stopped and they start contributing to the Indian economy, to the Indian companies. That will build India to become number one in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hari, for wonderful sessions.